Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. So guys, in this video we will have our discussion around the unusual kind of relationship. Just because guys, these days like the kind of trend which I am seeing in the astrological consultation. Now this could be a case that just because in the transit Venus is exalted conjunct with Rahu or whatsoever the case is. So I'm seeing a lot of the eccentricity when it comes down to the kind of choices which people are making in the relationship. And just because even in the transit at a time when I'm recording this video, Moon is also like transiting in the Scorpio sign. So I just thought we can have our discussion, something which is connected with the like in the domain of the Scorpio only, something which is taboo, something which is frowned upon in the society. So which is going to be all aspect of the relationship and how we can see that, including the D9 chart or the Navamsa chart. So beyond any doubt guys, my channel is pretty old, so I already have talked about different kind of combination, interpretation, and I have also explained that with the usage of different case studies of different celebrities as well. Like what could be the case if Dara Karaka is going to be placed in the different houses in the D9 chart, or from the main Rashi chart, the 7th lord, if it is going to be placed in different alignments, or if Venus is going to be placed in different houses in the D9 chart. So all of that we have already discussed in the past as well. Now in this video we will be just focusing on that. Through all these houses of the D9 chart only, if you have to find and see a correlation of all attributes and kind or type of relationship, how you can figure it out. Trust me guys, if you just watch these videos with your passion in astrology, you might find this topic to be weird, but if you are doing it professionally, or if you are aligned and connected in the society, there have been so many kind of unexpected and eccentric kind of relationship which people are a part of, and somehow our chart always give answer to that. So guys, before we will start our discussion, when I say and when I will be explaining all kind of combinations which can come out of the different houses of the D9 chart, it all comes down to that in which capacity that house in the D9 chart is becoming important in your case. Is your D9 chart's first house lord is placed over there? Is your D9 chart's 7th lord being placed over there? Is your Venus is being placed over there? Your Dara Karak is being placed over there? From the main Rashi chart, the 7th lord is placed over there. Based on that only, you have to come to a conclusion. So okay guys, to start with, and one more thing which I want to highlight over here. See, when we talk about the D9 chart, D9 chart is equally applicable in the case of the same sex relationship as well. And D9 chart is been believed that it becomes very powerful, strong and active when you are actually in a relationship. So let's say for example, if you have been single and all, it might not be giving you as much as results, but when it comes down to that you are actually involved with someone, you are in a relationship with someone, these are the kind of cases when the D9 chart comes alive. And guys, you would not believe, like I keep on seeing these kind of cases every day. Like for example, like today only in the morning I was doing a reading over where this person was telling me that hey Nipun, it's like I have a newborn child and he has got some sort of like some health related major issue, and the newborn baby is just like 2-year-old only now. So when I looked at his chart, I did not find any of the combination, to be honest. When I looked at the chart of the child in itself, I wanted to see the Bal Arishta Yoga and all of that. There was not much of the highlight which I found over there. Then obviously out of curiosity I asked him, can you share the details of your wife as well? But the minute I looked at the wife's chart over there, I saw those kind of combination, and especially the Pitra Dosh kind of combination, like the new moon birth, alignment of the Ketu, and some alignment of the specific Tithi, Var and the Nakshatra, which was giving that hint. Because obviously for a newborn child, in the initial few years, you somehow face the results of either the prarabdha of your parents or from the past life only. So definitely I found the connection over there. So what I'm trying to say is that, see, some people say that D9 chart gets activated after the second half of the life or after you get married and all. It's not like that, but beyond any doubt, in those kind of cases where people are in a relationship, over there D9 chart, like if you can also do the Rashi Tulya Namansha, then also you can come to know that, okay, how strongly the chart of your spouse or your partner is supporting you. Guys, we are living in such a strange kind of world over where sometimes till the time people have not got married, everything is going fine. The minute people get married, now the problem starts happening. Once you like you have a child, everything was fine before, but just because after the childbirth there are like some kind of issues which started happening. You were doing very bad in your career, you did not have any vision, but the minute you got married, you have had someone in your life, suddenly your career picked up. So it's very difficult to say this thing, that in which capacity the energy of another person in our life can impact us, can influence us. And that is the only reason. There's no one such kind of carved in stone kind of prediction for everyone. Just because I'm doing it professionally, every single day I keep on coming across all these kind of combination, and whatever I will be presenting over here, it's a summary of all of that only. So okay guys, now without any further ado, let's start our discussion. Now when we talk about the first house of the D9 chart, now this house is very important because this house will tell about the nature of relationship. To be precise, sometimes what happens is that looking at someone's ascendant chart, sometimes looking at someone's moon sign and all, it becomes very difficult to understand that what exactly you want. Like so many times where people, you will come across that they are not able to take a right choice in the matter of relationship, irrespective of the fact that they have plethora of options around them. In those kind of situation, just open the D9 chart and look at the first house. You will get to know that what exactly is this person is seeking when it comes down to the relationship. Now guys, the kind of relationship which you are going to have, like especially when we talk about anything to do with the unusual kind of relationship and all. So over there, that generally happens when your D9 chart first house sign is the 8th sign from the main Rashi chart, like Ashtiyamsha. That could be one such kind of combination where you will come across anything which is seen as unusual in your society, in your community, can be attached with that. Now this could be a case that like there is a very big gap between you and your partner, or getting married to someone who was divorced, separated, widow. This could be in any way, but yes, anything to do with the unusuality in the matters of the relationship, it generally happens if you will find the D9 chart's first house to be either Ashtiyamsha or any of the alignment of the Rahu and Ketu. Guys, I always say this thing, that like the way we say that Saturn's placement adds duties, responsibilities, and it somehow slows down the attributes and prospects of that house. Simply put, Rahu and Ketu is like the destiny's karmic lock. In that domain, you are going to have least free will, and somehow life is going to be in a auto mode over where you're not going to have any control, in short. So yes, in a way, the first house of your D9 chart will tell about that what exactly a person is seeking when it comes down to the matters of the relationship. Now guys, let's come to the second house of your D9 chart. So guys, second house of D9 chart is very important. I guess some of the Sanjay Rath's sir's students like they say this thing that the second house of the D9 chart tells about the longevity of the marriage, which actually in a way makes sense, because it is also like kind of disputed. Like some people, when it comes down to the second marriage, they see the ninth house, because from the seventh house it is third from it, and some people say that no, from the seventh house you have to go 8 houses, the end of that relationship. So from the seventh, if you go 8, you will reach the second house. But yes, focusing only on the D9 chart second house, the points which I have written, that this house tells about the longevity of the marriage. In certain cases, like when we come across those kind of marriages which generally happens in a kind of way that you can call it like the way in the big business families, where marriage tend to remain like a alliance between the different corporates, like a different organization, different business group, and there's no harm and no judgment over here. Like even in the older times, when all the royalties and the kings and the kingdoms, they used to get their prince and the kids get married, it used to be like a alliance between the two nations or two kingdoms only. So yes, those kind of marriages between the families which happens like a arrangement for the money, that information also you get from the second house of the D9 chart. Along with that, guys, in a way, like in some of my like analysis and the charts which I have seen, live-in relationships are also seen from over here as well. Like it is just because it is 8th from the 7th house, like those kind of couples who do not want to get married. Like, and when I say like this, like in some of the cases, people have not even they have not got married, they have children as well, and they are happy the way it is. So yes, those kind of relationships are also seen from the second house of the D9 chart. Now guys, the minute we reach the third house of the D9 chart, now this house is kind of very taboo, because this is the kind of the house which is 8th from the 8th house. Now again guys, over here this video is not dedicated to the regular people. This topic is meant to cater to people who have been these kind of mysterious, esoteric, unpredictable kind of affairs, relationship and all. So generally it has been also seen like a mistress combination, like the way how shall I say this thing, there has been certain combination which came to my attention where people shared the birth details, where in southern part of India, this lady, she went to the Middle East, one of the Middle Eastern country, and it was not a standalone case. Same like her, there have been other instances as well. Her like passport and documentation and all of that were confiscated, and she was being threatened and forced to be and live like a mistress in the Middle East by the local native guy over there. So yeah, those kind of experiences can also be connected with how powerful third house in the D9 chart is. So these kind of mistress kind of combination, open relationship, and we say that the friends with benefits and all of that, over where it's again, it's like you just want to have your freedom when it comes down to relationship. Again guys, no judgment over here, this is how it is happening in the society now. And we always say this thing, that desh kal patra, country, culture, era. At a time when you are doing a reading for someone, you have to be open-minded, you have to be conversational with your client, and generally these kind of combination are somehow in the D9 chart, they are always attached with the third house. You will get the information from the third house of the D9 chart. Now guys, when we reach the fourth house of the D9 chart, now guys, fourth house in the D9 chart, if I were to say out of all the houses, this is the house where the purity of the emotions, feelings are generally seen from this house. So the purity of the relationship are seen from over here. Like the way we say this thing, that you know, even in terms of the relationship, is the person you are courting or you're trying to be in relationship with, is that person family oriented? Is that person interested in raising kids, raising a family with you or not? That generally comes from the fourth house. Now fourth house is very important. All these kind of like people who go by the tradition, norms, they tend to remain very loving in the matters of the relationship, and there's a lot of the openness, transparency, mutual trust, mutual respect for each other can be generally seen from the fourth house of the D9 chart. Now guys, the minute we reach the fifth house, now guys, fifth house is also a very important house, because these days all those kind of people whom like whose chart I have seen, like, you know, those kind of artist kind of couples, creative couples, especially people or couples chasing the same goals, you will see a prominence of the fifth house in their D9 chart. Now again guys, in one video I cannot explain all the combination. This could be a case that the Dara Karaka is being placed over there, seventh lord is being placed over there. In a man's chart, Venus is being placed over there. From the Rashi chart, the seventh lord in the D9 chart's fifth house, it is being placed over there. And along with that, when we say the soul level kind of connection is generally seen from this house. Like the way guys, these days in Instagram you will see plethora of those reels and those couples who are living in Bali, and you know, they give very positive kind of energy, like both the couple, they are doing things which they both are very passionate about. So yes, there's a high possibility that the D9 chart's fifth house give this information that you will find someone who is going to be having similar kind of goals and passion and romance is going to be very alive in the relationship if in the D9 chart fifth house is gaining a lot of prominence. Now guys, when we talk about the sixth house, now sixth house in the D9 chart is a tricky house, like the way it has been generally explained, and I have also seen that combination, like in certain cases where people, as long as they were like dating and all, they're like just being together in live-in relationship and all, the relationship was going on fine. The minute the couple got married, or one person started being persistent about tying the knot or getting legally married and all, the relationship started having issues and all. So yes, sixth house generally tell about the kind of burdens which you will carry in the relationship. So yes, too much of the planetary force and presence in the sixth house is not a very conducive energy, especially when we talk about doing things in a very legal, in a very righteous, in a very traditional kind of way. Again guys, like the way we say this thing, when it comes down to each of our lives, our food habits, our temperament, we all are different. So there is no one such kind of pill which is meant for everyone, and I cannot give any prediction which is carved out in stone and which is going to be equally applicable on everyone. Simply put, sixth house will tell about somehow it does not make you very much eligible and a right contender when it comes down to the typical arranged traditional kind of marriage. And yes, it also tells about the kind of burden which a person carries in terms of the relationship. Now guys, when we talk about the seventh house of the D9 chart, now this house is very important because this is the house which will tell about that what area of your life marriage will nourish. Simply put, if in your D9 charts seventh house there is a Capricorn sign, so it hardly matters whatever is happening in your Rashi chart, there is a high possibility that the partner, marriage or relationship will cater or nourish your career in one form or another form. If this could be like Gemini, it might make you more resourceful. Your partner's vibration, the marriage's vibration is making you more resourceful. Suddenly you're getting more opportunities because of that. If it is like Aquarius, it might be responsible for more incoming opportunities and gains. So this is how you can look at it. Now guys, when we reach the 8th house, so in the D9 charts, 8th house Again, all those majority of the things which I mentioned for the third house. Again guys, when we talk about difficulties, that is a different case. Again, this is not a video which is meant to cater to the regular people with the regular lives. This is just kind of a unusual, erratic, eccentric kind of experiences which people are having. So the same, like the vibration of the third house which I explained, is attached with the 8th house of the D9 chart as well. Like all those kind of combination where, you know, it's like any of the mistress kind of combination. This could be people who prefer to be in open relationship, all those kind of friends with benefits, all those kind of things are generally attached with the 8th house. 8th house is, in a way, it's not an exaggeration to call it as the death of the relationship, the personal weakness in the relationship. So again, if you have majority of the planets being placed over here, and you will notice that till the time you were like dating and there was no hassle of the commitment, there was love in the relationship was going on well. But the minute one person started pressing for marriage, and the problem started happening, because this is what the prarabdha, this is what the destiny is. That's what you have to understand. Now guys, when we talk about the 9th house of the D9 chart, so guys, 9th house is very important, because what I have generally seen that it drives you, pushes you towards the relationship which aligns you with your dharma, towards your path. So sometimes where like people have been lost, and the minute they will get married and somehow you will see that now they have got that drive in their life. And this could be a case that let's say, for example, if over here you can also put the Rashi Tulya Nomanch as well. Like for example, if you are a Aries Lagna in the Rashi chart, in the D9 chart, for example, if you are like a Cancer Lagna, and in the main Rashi chart in the 9th house you have the Sagittarius. If you are a Aries Lagna in the main Rashi chart in the 9th house you have the Sagittarius. Now in the D9 chart, if you have majority of the planets in the D9 chart in the Sagittarius sign, so that means if you will overlap, if you will superimpose, those planets are somehow influencing your 9th house. So that means marriage, your partner will definitely reinforcing the prospects of the blessings, grace, luck, and supporting you in your path in your life. But generally it has been seen, an empowered 9th house in the D9 chart is generally seen as where a relationship aligns you towards the dharma, towards your path, towards your calling. Now guys, when we talk about the 10th house of the D9 chart, see guys, 10th house is very important, because like sometimes, you know, when we talk about those kind of cities, like you talk about even in India, like Mumbai, even over here in Canada as well, like, you know, not Canada, even in like Los Angeles, I have more of the experiences of the examples of the Bollywood and Hollywood, where everyone wants to look successful, and generally relationship happen because of to make contacts, to look successful, and like those kind of couples who are seen as very powerful in the society and all. So yes guys, 10th house generally see, it's a very prime artha bhava. Again, it all comes down to individual to individual. They are like those kind of romantic kind of people. They just want to be in the relationship just for the sake of the love. Guilty. And there are like those kind of people who want to be in relationship. You know, it's like even when you go on the matrimonial meetings and all, I have very bad you know, luck, and I can register myself in the Guinness book when it comes down to the rejection and all. Yeah, but the point which I'm saying, that over there you will see that the only thing which they will ask you is about, you know, how much money, how much wealth, this and that. It looks like a business interview kind of, you know, setting and all. So yes, in the D9 charts, 10th house, it actually makes the relationship very mechanical. It, beyond any doubt, it can give you success. You will be perceived and seen as power couple, successful couple. But when it comes down to that inner emotional fulfillment, so then guys, it all comes down to that, to which extent the in the chart the water signs are gaining power. Because otherwise, in terms of the wealth, status, recognition, visibility through marriage, being seen as successful, this could be seen as a good combination. The purity of the love, higher purpose and path might have to take a toll, or might have to suffer over there. Now guys, when we talk about the 11th house, See, 11th house in the D9 chart is important because when we talk about the desires and expectation in a relationship, which could cause differences as well, like where within the marriage, both the people in a relationship have got their own set of desires, wish, and sometimes when we talk about, like in certain books, it has also been mentioned that this house could be responsible for the extramarital affairs as well, because in this house there's like your personal goals, your social engagement, social ties, all of that is attached. So because of which, when it comes down to majority of your from the purity essence in a relationship point of view, 11th house of the D9 chart is not seen as very supportive, very favorable. Some people have this notion of saying that in the D9 charts, 11th house, if there is a concentration of the planets, it means your wishes are going to get fulfilled. Your expectations from a marriage, from a partner, from your spouse is going to get fulfilled. Yes, it can be looked at in that way as well. But generally, I have seen that in those kind of cases where, it's like marriages which are, which happen because of too many of the materialistic goals and desires and all, which come in the way of the sustenance, for the harmony, for deeper understanding, for love. So, and which at times could also lead towards the extramarital, affairs. Now again guys, it is still not as bad as kind of we call it taboo kind of thing, which might be the 8th house, or very eccentric, the which 8th house or the 3rd house could be. It's not as misaligned like the 8th house or 3rd house. It's not like that, but still in the 11th house there is a slight possibility of that too much of the desires, expectation, and sometimes which can make the person go astray, or which can also lead towards the extramarital affairs or the relationship as well. Now guys, when we talk about the 12th house, now again guys, like the way I mentioned about the 6th house in the D9 chart, same is the kind of the vulnerability or threat you will find in the 12th house of the D9 chart as well, which simply put just tells about, this could be seen as the loss of the relationship. This could be seen as, when we talk about where people they prefer to be in a live-in relationship, not tying the knot. Like sometimes people also have kids, but they have not got married. That generally happens if there is a prominence of the planets in the 12th house of the D9 chart. So yes guys, something which is like hidden, and where you do not want it to come to the limelight. You just want to keep it behind the scene, and that's how you want to run the affair. Like some people who want to be very secretive when it comes down to their relationship choices and all of that. So that could be the domain of the 12th house. But yes, when we talk about the live-in relationship, or this could be a case that like certain cases where it's more or less the story of the live-in only, that where people prefer not to get married, stay very discreet, very secretive in terms of the relationship choices. But again, I will say the same thing, it is still not as eccentric as the 3rd house or 8th house of the D9 chart could be. 12th house, simply put, either it's live-in relationship, either it's the loss of relationship, or this might be something which is very secretive. You can look at it in that way. So yes guys, in this video I just wanted to talk about certain aspect of the society when it comes down to the relationship, or like our choices in the matters of marriage and relationship, where like people do not talk much about it. So I just thought that in this one video we can have our discussion where we can cover all the houses, their signification, and let's say for example if you want second part of it, over there I can also place planets, and based on that I can explain the results as well. So yes guys, this is something which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs. For furthermore updates and notification on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram account. Dhanyawad.